Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Yes, you guys, today again, I guess we are making another ranch family. Actually, I don't think this would be considered like a family home. The one that I posted before this one would be considered a family home. I'm thinking that this one is literally just gonna be for like 1 or 2 Sims. That's probably the best that I got. I didn't even realize that it wasn't even recording my build when I was building this. So if you saw that it was all coming up in like literally the span of 40 seconds, that is why. And I'm so sorry. I don't know why my computer does that sometimes. It's super weird. I don't understand, and it's so annoying because I find out and then I'm like, oh my god, this isn't even the first time that it's happened. But I really like this kind of build. I don't think it's really my style, but I actually really like it. So I hope that you guys like it too. I find like I spend so much time on the front of a house and then I leave the back to not be as pretty, and I really want to try and like do more better things when it comes to the backyard, because I feel like I just kind of like neglect it. I neglect it and I don't give it as much love, and I need to give it more love. So I did make like 2 pens. So I have it for like the llamas, and then I also have it for the cows. And then I also have like a little chicken coop on at the front of the house, like over to the left, and then I have a horse barn over to the right. So I have a couple of things going on. But are you guys excited for this new expansion pack, girl? I think the day that it's coming out, I am working, and it's not even like a morning shift. I think it's like 1:30 to 9:30, which sucks because I'm just not gonna have any time for it, and it's gonna suck, but it will be good because then I can kind of figure out what I want to do for my Let's Play, which I'm kind of excited for. I'm a little nervous. I feel like I want to make, I don't know if because okay, let me start over. I did a poll a really long time ago, and I asked you guys whether or not you guys wanted to see a rags to riches or if you guys wanted to see a family, and the majority vote was a rags to riches, and I have never done a rags to riches, which is really funny because I have been playing The Sims since Sims 1, and I used to steal like my sister's computer, and I was only able to play that way. And if I ever wanted to play The Sims 2, I would have to go over to my godparents' house, which was like it was like here and there. Like I'd always come in to the house and I'd be like, hey guys, how's it going? You know, like everyone's saying like they're happy, like how are you, how are the kids, blah blah blah. And me and my sister run upstairs and we're like, can we play The Sims? Great, thanks. And we just run up and everyone else is like, well, there they go. So that is where we spend the majority of our time, and I have just never done a rags to riches, and I think it is really fun. So I'm really curious. I feel like our sim should make like nectar. I guess that's like a new skill in the game. So that would be a great way for us to make some money and then get some horses. I don't know. I really want to see how it goes, but I think we should just have nothing. Like I feel like it should just be our sim, and then it should be nothing. I think that would be a really funny idea, and I've never done it before, so I think it'd be really fun if you guys want to see that, because it's probably going to be super chaotic because I've never done anything like that. So if you do want to do that and you do want to see it, click the follow button, girl, because our family is growing. My most recent video has been doing pretty good so far, and it has gotten a whole bunch of you guys here. So hi, how are you guys? My name is Jamie. I'm also known as Simspiration here on YouTube, and yeah, I like to do a lot of speed builds. I am trying to get into my Let's Plays because, girl, I don't do any of that, and I wish I did. I do have like 2 other families, and my most recent one that I did for the generations kind of expansion pack, I had a family, and I really liked it because I spent so much time on the family's like background, the names. I did generation builds, like I did like their grandparents' house, like I did so much, and I only have like 3 episodes. what the heck. So I want to try and do this, and I think that if I don't have a storyline, it will be so much better. So I want to do that. I also do little challenges here and there and update videos. So if you do like that idea, I am doing that, and I do post all of my stuff a day or two early on my gallery. So if you guys do want to check me out and follow me on there, I will have my gallery name in the description down below, because that is where you will see everything. Also, if you ever want me to see your builds and maybe do a little showcase video, I used to do like showcase Sundays by using the hashtag #SimSpo. So all of that will be in the description, and I really want to bring that back. So if you guys have any builds or sims that you want me to look at, definitely tag your girl in the gallery in the description using my hashtag. And also, I usually don't really do builds on I think this is a 40 by 30 lot. I'm not too sure, but it is definitely not what I usually do. But I had a really fun time being in like a little smaller space making this, especially because I'm like, oh, it's a farm. It should be like wide open spaces, because that's what I'm used to. I'm literally surrounded by farms all my life, like where I live. And it's so funny for me just being in like a smaller lot and doing this. So I think it's really cute. I think it is definitely cozy. Again, it's probably just like for 1 or 2 sims, just because actually, no, that's a lie. I think it could be great family house, because I just remembered in the spare room I have like 2 separate beds. So I guess yeah, you could have this as like a family room. But yeah, it is up on my gallery. So if you guys do want to download it, it will be there for y'all, right? So you guys, I also have to mention that in my builds, I don't really talk about the builds that often, even though I've been talking about it for 6 minutes straight. I usually talk about the things that go on in my life. So this is what I have to start off with a story. And if you guys want to know the tea that has been going on in my workplace, because there's been a lot of it, the video before this one, I have shared a lot of issues that are going on with this girl named Emma in my workplace. And now we have a new one, and she's a lot older, and she is causing issues, but I'm not going to talk about her today. We're going to talk about Emma again, because Emma is the main character in this in this rant, I guess, for the past like week and a bit. So let me tell y'all. Okay, so I was at my boyfriend's, and I got a call on the Sunday, asking for me to come into work, because Emma couldn't come in to work that day because she was sick. And I'm like, well, I would love to, but I'm like 2 hours away, so I cannot. Very sorry. And they were like, okay, no worries. We'll just find someone else. I'm like, okay, great. Thank you very much. So then that happens, and I'm like sitting here, and I'm like, okay, well, Emma just called in sick. Okay, I guess that's a thing. Obviously that happens. So, everybody calls in sick sometimes. You get like that. And so the next day I come into work, and one of my coworkers comes over to me, and she goes, yeah, Emma called in sick yesterday. And I was like, oh, that's not good. I know. I think they asked me to come in because I couldn't make it because I was far away. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah. No. I was in here today. And yesterday. And I was like, oh, okay, so you're filling in for her. And she goes, yeah, okay, cool. Well, Emma is supposed to be here today, so hopefully she feels better. So Emma walks in probably about an hour later, and this girl comes in with a t-shirt, kind of like tank top-ish, so her shoulders were exposed and everything like that. And she comes in, she's all good, and she's like, oh, hey guys, how's it going? I'm like, it's good. How are you? How are you feeling? She's like, oh, good. I feel good. And I was like, that's good. And then I noticed like she had super red like shoulders, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And she was like, oh yeah, I just got really burnt. And I was like, oh, okay. And in my head, I was like, weren't you sick? Like, didn't you call in sick from home because you weren't feeling well? So then me and my coworker look at each other like, what is she talking about? Like, what do you mean? Like, how did you get burnt if you're not feeling well? So I guess the day after, I was talking to Emma, and I was just, trying to get some like information out of her, but I was like trying to talk to her very like just very blunt kind of, and I was just like, oh, how's it going, how are you? And she was like, oh, I'm good. I'm like, oh, how was your weekend, da 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 da, because I don't think that she knew that I knew that she called in. She was like, oh, good, I had a great weekend. I was like, oh, good, what were you doing or whatever? And she's like, oh, not much. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, she was like, how was your weekend? I was like, oh, it was good. I was out and about. It was beautiful outside. And she was like, oh yeah, no, I actually went for like a wine tour with my friends. And I was like, oh, no way. That's nice. And in my head then at that point, I was like, okay, well then maybe you just went like on the Saturday because you're not feeling well. You called in on the Sunday. And so she was like, oh yeah, no, it was really good. We went out, it started from like 9 in the morning, and then we got back at like 4, and then we went to an arcade. It was really cool. And we were just in the city, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Was it like an all weekend kind of thing? She's like, yeah, it was just from like Saturday to Sunday. And then we went back to my friends like on the that Monday night and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And in my head now, I'm just like, no, you didn't just say that, because she thought that I didn't know. And in actuality, she literally just admitted to me that she called in sick at work, and she was out on a wine tasting trip with her friends. And she came back to work, not even hiding the fact that she got burnt on her shoulders. So I'm like, girl, what the heck? I'm like, what are you doing? And so me and my friend were not impressed and pleased. And I'm not going to say anything, but I'm pretty sure that my other friend who I work with is definitely gonna say something, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't want any part of it. I don't want no drama. But if you guys like this video, maybe please consider like, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you all later. Okay, bye guys.